This is not just a dog. This is a living link to a forgotten world. One of the world's oldest, most distinctive dog breeds has walked silently beside emperors, monks, and hunters. The Chow Chow's look is unforgettable. But beneath the thick coat and aloof gaze lies a story far older than most imagine. A story that stretches back thousands of years, before dog shows, before kennel clubs, before the modern concept of a breed. Today, we trace the roots of the Chow Chow, from ancient artifacts and imperial hunts, through mountain monasteries and Victorian zoos, all the way to our homes. Welcome to Chow Chow Explained, a series of deep dives into the breed's history, character, and form. Before we begin, meet Aria. She is a black, rough-coated Chow Chow and your guide through the world of one of the most legendary breeds in history. Arya means lioness. She is all Chow Chow, quiet, proud, a living echo of what once was. You will find her alongside us in all the videos, helping us pause, reflect, and stay connected to the heart of the breed. The Chow Chow is one of the world's oldest known dog types. Recent genetic studies place the Chow among the oldest domestic dog lineages, called basal breeds. The blue tongue, genetically unique. The straight rear legs and upright stance, a product of ancient utility, not modern aesthetics. While modern breeds evolve through crossbreeding and constant tweaking, ancient breeds like the Chow were shaped slowly, with purpose, and deserve to be preserved, not reinvented. This is not a designer dog. This is a cultural relic with a heartbeat. Archaeological finds from China's Han Dynasty, some 2,000 years ago, show pottery dogs with square muzzles, erect ears, straight back legs, and curled tails, features unmistakably Chow-like. Their physical form almost unchanged from the Chow Chow we recognize today. One example in the museum shows a ceramic dog seated in a dignified stillness, its posture alert and powerful. Another, now housed in a museum in Tokyo, displays the breed's distinctive stance and deep chest in a green glazed finish. These were not pets in the modern sense. They guarded courtyards, pulled sleds, and stood beside nobles and laborers alike. These were not just dogs. They were already chows in form long before the name existed. They were not invented. Their thick double coat, curled tail, straight back legs, blue-black tongue, and proud stance weren't sculpted by recent breeders. They were shaped by time, climate, and purpose. The ancient Book of Rites speaks of dogs from the north, prized for their strength and stature. Could these be early chows? Many historians believe so. Their dense double coat and self-reliant nature points to harsh northern climates, possibly northern China or Mongolia, where function shaped form over thousands of years. In imperial times, the chow was more than a dog. It was a symbol of power and loyalty. Historical records speak of emperors owning kennels with hundreds, even thousands of dogs. Some were used for hunting in organized royal drives. Others remained close as palace guardians. But the Chow's story doesn't stop at court. Across the Himalayas, monasteries relied on dogs for more than protection. While Tibetan mastiffs stood guard at gates, legends tell of blue-tongued Chow-type dogs kept within sacred grounds, silent, stoic, and utterly unique. In Tibet and Mongolia, Chow-type dogs found sanctuary in monasteries, where they guarded sacred grounds and flocks. In one early 20th century account, a visitor described about 50 of these silent sentinels, living in a remote monastery. Noted for their blue coat color, straight legs, erect ears, curled tails, and deep blue-black tongues, there was no mistaking their breed. These dogs, so prized, they were said to be raised only by monks, unseen by outsiders. These dogs were not bred for popularity. They were preserved in isolation, symbols of loyalty, discipline, and divine guardianship. Whether fact or fable, these stories deepen the mystery that surrounds the breed. It is an uncomfortable truth. For centuries, the chow was also raised for meat, particularly in less affluent regions, times of famine, or during harsh times. This practice gave rise to the term Chow Chow in the West, a slang cargo label that included mixed goods, often including exotic edibles. The Chow Chow arrived in the West not with a bark, but as an exotic whisper. In the late 1700s and 1800s, Chow Chows were brought to England, likely by merchants and diplomats. At first, they were novelties. One of the earliest records placed them not in a home, but in a zoo. London's Royal Zoological Society once displayed them as exotic animals, calling them wild dogs of China. Still, the early chows that arrived bore strong resemblance to their ancient ancestors. Broad heads, piercing eyes, straight back legs, moderate coats, and the unmistakable scowl of self-assurance. But by the late 19th century, interest in the breed grew. Queen Victoria's passion for dogs helped fuel public fascination, and soon the chow began appearing in shows, salons, and early breed registries. By the 1890s, the breed stood proudly in dog shows and breed books. In 1895, the first British Chow Chow Club was formed and the standard was written. And slowly, the transformation began. Unlike modern breeds engineered by mixing types to achieve a purpose or aesthetic, the Chow Chow is an ancient, natural type. She is not a product of invention. She is legacy. Preserving her closer to her original form isn't just an aesthetic choice. It's an act of cultural respect, a way of honoring the cultures, centuries, and countless unnamed dogs who shaped her. To truly understand the Chow Chow is to understand that some stories are not ours to rewrite. They are ours to remember. To change a breed like the Chow is to erase a living piece of history. Modern breeding has shifted some of these traits. Longer, thicker coats, exaggerated heads and bodies, tragic instead of proud oriental expressions. But preservation-minded breeders and historians urge us to look back, not just forward. Preserving a breed like the Chow means more than showcasing its looks. It means honoring the purpose and form it was meant to hold: compact, balanced, proud, self-willed, and calmed, a functional dog. The Chow Chow's story is still being written. It lives in the homes of devoted guardians, in shelters and rescues, and in rare bloodlines that preserve the old type with care. As guardians of this legendary breed, we have a choice: to shape it into what pleases us, or to protect it as it was shaped by time. Respecting that heritage doesn't mean freezing it in time. It means understanding its soul, and perhaps, like Arya, simply standing still long enough to remember. Ancient dogs like the Chow tell us something deeper: that preservation is not about perfection, it's about respect. To protect the Chow's future, we must first understand its past. Because the Chow Chow isn't just a pet, it's a legacy. The Chow Chow isn't a trend. She's not for everyone, and that's the point. Independent, stoic, and proud, she walks beside us as she always has, quiet, watchful, unchanged. If you meet her eyes, truly meet them, you may find something older looking back. Not a pet, a presence, a legend. Thanks for walking through history with us. If this journey moved you, subscribe to walk alongside us in future stories. More history, more insight, and always more Chow Chow.